Hello and welcome into the Upland Cafe. Welcome into the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. Getting a little bit of misstart this afternoon. I did look like the announcement went out earlier. Trying to get things kicked off and started. Hopefully, broadcasting is actually working this time around. And of course, I'm your host, the Goldsmith. Today is Tuesday the 28th of November 2023. And as of today, we do have a interview that was supposed to be kicked off today. We did kick that off till next week. Looking at this coming Friday, it did look like Jason was going to make it in today. This is something we did to push off into this coming Friday, Friday the 1st of December. So hope to see you all here in the cafe, 7 p.m. PT for that interview. Again, giving you a heads up front. If you're looking for that interview, we'll get that kicked off on Friday. Otherwise, a couple things in the news today. Obviously, first and foremost, the new news, obviously, the Chapter 5 totem reveal, something that we did see coming forecast here, obviously, because we did have Chapter 4. We knew Chapter 5 was coming up, but also because of the Cyber Monday, the flash sale with the totems, which was revealing our 2 new totems. We'll get into the reveal. We'll get into those totems. Obviously, a couple reviews as well, because we didn't have a ton of other news today. NFLPA wearables coming into the game of Upland. Again, having a new reward for continued participation with the bundle sales and the NFLPA sales. And of course, we have a couple other things that are ongoing that we always like to remind people of, at least on a weekly basis. And of course, just because we're candling down, we're moving down to the end here. I do want to remind people there is still time to submit your designs for the Ugliest sweater competition that is still open for UGC. Ugliest sweater competition. We'll get into the details so you know you can still participate. We did see the opening period today, the opening period for minting of your Phase 3 Golden City treasures, the opportunity to mint those hidden properties, 50 of them out there. Obviously, the Painted Ladies Block Explorer giving you that token, giving you that opportunity. That screenshot or that capture already happened, obviously, at the time of purchase. And those 50 individuals who did get the Painted Ladies, they have that opportunity to go ahead and mint those properties that are reserved for them. That period is open now, and they should have already have those emails and that information for going ahead and minting those properties. And one other thing we did see today is yet another case of Goldsmith not getting lucky, not getting a good draw when it comes to these limited sales. But hey, everybody has that opportunity to once in a while get lucky, once in a while not. Stock Car Pro Series exclusive car sale for race 11 did happen today. We'll get into the little bit of the details on that sellout. Obviously, it is always a sellout. It does take a while to sell through, in that the Upland gives people a decent amount of time to make those purchases, as they are USD purchases. And of course, as we do wind things up, as we do wind up the last week, we can look at what Black Friday sale looked like. The big thing I do want to focus on is the state and the condition of what it looks like with people buying Block Explorers, selling Block Explorers, and the new dynamics of how Block Explorers are to be tied into collection. What that looks like there's, if not like that at all. So kicking thing you get to any of those topics. Disclaimer, all views and opinions expressed by myself, they're mine and mine alone. Shouldn't be game strategy or financial advice. They don't represent the game of the team of Upland. And if we have contributors on, if we have a guest on, obviously their opinions are theirs and theirs alone. Shouldn't be taken as representing the Cafe Nightly Show, myself, the Goldsmith, the team of Upland, the game of Upland, and should be taken as game strategy or financial advice. Throughout the show, since we are in Layer 1 Upland Cafe in San Francisco, feel free to drop in any comments that you have in the cafe. Try to keep our eyes out there. Try to keep our eyes out for comments that do come out throughout the show. And additionally, if you are if you are somebody who is watching recorded, thank you so much for doing so. Always can feel free to send me a DM to the Goldsmith in the game of Upland, or a DM to the Goldsmith in Discord if you're there as well. So jumping in real quick and taking a quick look. Our first and foremost, our one announcement that's new as of today, and popping that up and sharing that so you can all take a look. Obviously, we did know these totem reveals were coming. We did know that this was going to be something that we were going to have to look at in a relatively short period of time after our Chapter 4. But let's take a quick look at our brand new Chapter 5 totems coming up in the next week with our countdown up, and we'll take a look at that countdown as well. Easy is the best place to see that countdown at any given time, obviously, is upland.me/totems. We do have a countdown that's up there for the next series, as well as that preview is tied in there as well. So it's getting in, taking a look. We should see the totem reveal chapter 5. Chapter 5 totem reveal. Uplanders, the time has come. Miles and Gaia are about to embark on their final journey to reveal the last 2 totem life forms. Get ready to accompany them as they awaken the ancients and unleash life in Upland. Chapter 5, Awakening the Ancients, unleashing life within Upland. I think this is, this is pretty symbolic that we do now have, these steps along the way, and of course this final push here of this lore, of this storytelling here, is to bring forth the idea that we are going to have life, we're going to usher life in, and fingers crossed that means that Protum is soon to follow. As the stem tree's powers resonated through the chamber, the dormant totemic life forms began to materialize before Miles and Gaia. The dragonfly, shark, toucan, goat, cheetah, panda, wolf, palm tree, python, and gorilla emerged from the rocky slumber, breathing life into the ancient sanctuary. In a mystical fashion, the swirling totems unite, the distinct traits intertwining harmoniously. The air crackled with energy as each life form moved with grace and poise, animating the chamber with their vibrant presence. The room transformed into a stage for the grandest of performances, a testament of the successful awakening of the totemic beginnings. With their accomplishment, Miles and Gaia bridged the gap between ancient wisdom and cutting-edge technology, unlocking the endless possibilities for the future of life within Upland. Again, that is in totality Upland's quick statement there, the preview here, the run-up. And again, I think it says a lot. Obviously, we have seen the idea that ushering life in, having totems to usher life in, has been a large focus of the game of Upland for the last 6 months. We've been waiting for this to happen. And it sounds like on the backside of Chapter 5, Upland's ready for this to happen, or at least they're getting us ready for this to happen. So let's get into the specifics here. Obviously, how to acquire totems. Real recaps, real simple here. The mystery passes are designed to be, sold, pretty simply. They're sold up front here in these limited sales. They are a reservation sale. You make the reservation, you get the opportunity to purchase. If you do a purchase up front, obviously there's a secondary market. There's been a very strong secondary market so far on totems. And the key things is not all totems are created alike. Like, we don't have the exact scale of how Protum is going to be, put through these 5 rarities, or these 5 different traits, which each have their own rarity. We don't know, how one rarity is going to affect the output overall of the individual traits, how that's going to make a difference with the actual scale. But we do know that there is a scale. We do know that there is a best and a worst. We have had a chance to go over some of these factors. If you're still looking at these and you still want to get a better idea of what's going on there, what's the best, what's the worst, you can take the Upland Totem Wiki, or you can go and check, like I said, upland.me/totems is the best place to take a closer look at that. But the quick recap, obviously, there's 5 unique traits that influence your totem's behavior, the rewards, the period of time in between, the time you have to react to, interact with it. And of course, there is a penalty to not interacting on time. And, part of that scaling is how limited or how much that penalty is going to be for taking your time and getting to the feeding or getting to the interaction with your totem. Prior to each sale, obviously, there is that period that Upland does have to manufacture all these totems. That's why there's as long as a wait as there generally is for Upland to announce the sale and have the sale and actually be able to distribute the totems. So they have been kind of running that period of time, that 2.5 week period between each of the chapters, just to give enough time for the totems to get built, to get constructed, so that they can be distributed. And I think Upland's done a really good job of staying on top of this. This is something that we've seen other sales, other iterations, other objects in Upland, have sales that might be less regular. We had cars be on a monthly basis for a little while, and then they stretched out, and that's entirely controlled here with the totems. It looks like we're waiting for the reality of manufacturing time, which I think is great. I think that the 2.5 weeks we've had so far has allowed some of the demand to rebound between each of these sales. And of course, I think it puts us right here at the end of the year, which is where we just about are, to have the potential for our Protem drop and life to start at the end of this quarter, the very beginning of next quarter. Fingers crossed. So pretty excited to see that. Let's take a look at the rest of this announcement here. Any other gems that are here? Of course, the key thing is we know that this next sale is coming up. We know that we have a 24 hours advance notice to register. We know that once we're registered, we get put into those queues, and we know that we're going to have both the USD and the UPX options like as we had in the past. Chapter 5 life forms are the cheetah and the gorilla. In the upcoming weeks, we'll release the sale announcement for the 5th totem release, featuring the cheetah and the gorilla life forms. Below is a preview of the Chapter 5 life forms that are being manufactured now. But remember, the cheetah and gorilla you acquire with your mystery pass in the next sale will have a unique combination of traits. Don't forget, it will be your mission to feed and take care of your totem during the life cycle, but not until all life forms in the first story have been manufactured. Again, that's key here. We've had that discussion. Upland is obviously not going to have the first drop of Protem until they are 100% done manufacturing totems. And again, with kind of the promise here with totems being a transition between not having life and being prepared for life, this is it. This is what Upland's going to put out for totems. Once they're done manufacturing totems, they're done manufacturing totems, and then we can move into that active phase, that extending the Protem into your totem and then having a return of totem at the end, getting your totem pile, building your totem pile up over time, and then being able to take that totem or that Protem at the end. That totem, you keep it as a map asset. That Protem obviously being able to exchange that for stem here at the end, and that stem becoming the basis, our first interaction, our first exchangeable token alongside our life forms or a life that will be coming in thereafter. So very excited to see the cycle start. It is going to be a game loop we're not used to. Upland has defined it a little bit, but we have a lot more to learn about the scale of it. We have a lot more to learn about timing and what cycles are going to look like. And of course, every single one of these totems are going to have their own cycles. Every single one of these attributes is going to play a factor in how you're going to interact and how the totem is going to interact with returning. We're returning Protem from the Protem input. So we'll take a look at the cheetah preview here. We do see that there are a total of 7 here different styles of the cheetah for us to look at, obviously featuring different colors as well. And then, of course, we have the gorilla down here as well. So we see the 7 different styles of the gorilla here, and of those 7 styles, we do see each color featured in there as well. So definitely pretty easy to take a look at. Again, the Totem Wiki is a place if you want to get the bedrock. If you still don't understand, the difference between how style is going to affect your interaction with your totem and what to expect from having the color, how does the color interact with our totem, and what does it mean to have a different base, go and take a look at the Totem Wiki. That is your place to have that review. Hopefully we'll have a more of a broad review as we get closer. Hope to be able to have that review with someone on the team, a team member, if they want to jump in, so we can have that review and go over everything that people should expect with totems, as that release is going to be quite a bit of excitement as we do get the Protem drop, and people are going to learn very quickly what those cycles end up looking like for what they already have. So let's take a look at the one place that is going to give us potentially a better view of when the next sale is going to be. That is upland.me/totems. Let's see if that has been updated yet. And last time I checked, it hadn't. But again, knowing that they did the release today, knowing that Upland sneaks these in here sometimes we'll get lucky and we'll see that they updated it for the next countdown for the next sale. And taking a look as of right now, we can see that we do not have the update yet. We do know that we have Chapter 5 should be something that we're going to head into registration here at some point in the future. We just don't know how long it's going to be before we get there. So our preview, our sneak peek preview that we got to are looking at this sale actually happening. So this is a next couple weeks. Keep your eyes out, keep your eyes peeled, and this is the best place, upland.me/totems, to get that countdown. Once that countdown is available, so we can get a better idea of when these are going to be, when that registration period is. Again, 24-hour registration period, running into a sale that does tend to happen relatively quickly. All right, taking a look at the other note here, something that I think we had teased last week, but we actually had announced and better announced here, from the standpoint of knowing that it is effective, knowing a few more details of that, and that is going to be the NFLPA wearables as being a bonus, as being an incentive for buying bundles. Upland did discuss earlier in the season, before NFLPA season even got kicked off, that they were going to do some additional hidden things here, hidden rewards that had not been announced when we were talking about original, the original contests that were available. So here is one of them. Here is one of the hidden things. It may not be the only one. Attention NFLPA fan lovers. And exciting news is in there. Obviously, this is the NFLPA bundles purchases, giving you the opportunity to get NFLPA player gear wear. So this is going to be wearables. These wearables, again, there's going to be 30 NFLPA player gear wearables that are given out each week. These are going to be something where it's that random drawing. Each time you buy a bundle, you get one entry into that drawing. Those total entries, again, are going to be done on a weekly basis. 30 total NFLPA wearables being drawn each week. And the great news is this is retroactive. So if you've bought bundles earlier in the season, you're still going to get that opportunity. You still have that chance to have one wearable for that week. So we could see people who may have already bought 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row, and they are already entered to win. They already have chances. When we have those retroactive drawings, we will see who wins at that point. Again, this is going to be something that moving forward is going to be every Monday. Obviously, every Monday when that drawing happens is going to be for the week preceding, for the prior week, for people buying bundles in the prior week. And we're going to continue to see, it looks like as of right now anyways, that we're going to continue to see these sales happening every Thursday, with the registration happening from Wednesday into Thursday for the rest of the season. Again, tomorrow, Wednesday the 29th, obviously we'll expect to see the registration open at 8 a.m. PT, running into Thursday the 30th at 8 a.m. PT, with the sale kicking off at 9 a.m. PT. We have seen some interesting things. Again, I'm going to get into block explorers tonight because I do want to put a little focus on some of the shifting realities that we've seen in the markets with block explorers. But what I did want to touch on is this is kind of something in the same way, same realm, where we're seeing a difference in the USD side from the UPX side. We've seen these bundles sell a little more successfully on the UPX side and the USD side. And then with this sale last week, with this Black Friday sale that essentially gave a discount on the USD side in last Thursday's sale, we did see a pickup of those sales. That question is people more interested in purchasing at a lower price? Were they simply buying at that time because it happened to be a sale, and the sale enticed them to buy then as opposed to any other time? It remains to be seen, but we'll see if Upland takes any idea or takes any lesson from the price sensitivity of people on the USD side. Maybe we'll see new pricing, new bundle options in the future. We know Upland has played around with the pricing in the past. The bundle pricing this year is totally different from what pricing was last year, and totally different from what pricing was the year before. If you do want to get involved with the NFLPA bundle sales, again, this coming Thursday, there'll be another one. We just started last Thursday. The third edition of the year of Ultimate Fan Challenge. We did have a bunch of winners from the second edition, the second period of the Ultimate Fan Challenge, and obviously Ultimate Fan Challenge is kicking off now and running right on through here. To get involved, obviously Upland stores where that sale ends up happening. Do register the 24 hours before the sale kicks off. And of course, you do have the opportunity, if you don't want to wait for that competitive sale, if you don't want to buy through, you can go to your team stadiums throughout the week if you want to buy team specific, just essential bundles. Can't get the mementos there. You could also go ahead and buy just general essentials at any time throughout the season, not getting the opportunity to get the memento pass from there. But again, being able to help build out your team, if you're continuing to build out your team, trying to get collections filled out, you need to get a few more few more players randomly, trying to pick those up. You could definitely go trade, sell, buy on the secondary, but buying primary on primary and the bundles obviously is your first step in trying to build out your gross number of NFLPA legits, essential legits, and something that people are still doing as of right now. So for the previous weeks, the up plan will be figuring this out here. If you purchase a bundle in the previous weeks, you're automatically entered into the respective weekly drawing for the wearable. So we will have these wearables, drawn and given out in the next coming weeks. And then, of course, moving forward, every single Monday, there will be that drawing for the people who purchased from the prior bundle week. All right. Any updates here about the details on the NFLPA wearables? Again, Upland has put a decent amount of work into these. I've seen some of the previews here. Again, putting out some of the top NFLPA players for each player to have their own NFLPA wearable. That being something that is a very limited supply that's going to be available to players. So if you do win one, it will be a relatively unique, it'll be a very rare anyways, wearable, as opposed to ones that are maybe 2 or 3 or 400 of that individual wearable. So it's kind of exciting to see that there's going to be a strong variety of these overall. And you can see, if we take a look right here at this table, we do see that Upland has put out a list of kind of exciting, because there's a lot of names here. There's a lot of wearables that are going to be put out. It looks like we're looking at enough wearables at 30 a week for 18 weeks of the season to, drum roll please, have every one of the wearables given out as a unique wearable. I'm excited to see that. Again, to give out something that is going to be different than anything else that is in the game. A lot of people have had that question quandary of what is truly rare. What does rarity mean? What does unique mean? And if we're talking about unique wearables from Upland for the NFLPA, that is an exciting thing as well. So, or an exciting thing indeed. So we're looking forward to seeing these actually get rolled out, seeing more and more of these in the cafe, people wearing these when they use their Ready Player Me avatar in any places, multiple places throughout Upland and around the metaverse. So looking forward to it, seeing these more and more here in the immediate future. So Cyber Monday sale kicking off yesterday. Important thing to catch up here, because this is something that extended more than a day, because there was a snapshot sale here, a snapshot reward that was built into these sale on some of the block explorers that were here. So we'll get into those specifically. Obviously, the wearable sale happened yesterday. It did sell out. Interesting thing on the way this sale was done. Panda, shark, goat, snake, gorilla, and cheetah. Again, gorilla and cheetah introduced when this sale was introduced as being six different forms, 6 different life forms represented in these wearables. It was a randomized sale. So there were 600 sales available, or 600 of the bundles available. Again, blind bundles, not knowing what people may be receiving at the time of their review of their bundle. But again, each of these rarities are being at 100 rarity for each of the individual wearables, keeping them at a relatively low circulation, and putting this up as a blind sale. Which again, I think it did sell pretty well. It did sell relatively quickly, and it did sell, interestingly enough, only as a USD option, and kind of circling around to something that we've seen in the Block Explorer sales for a long time here is you're buying a certain amount of UPX and you're also getting a reward. So you're spending $15 USD, you get 15,000 UPIX. You also get a wearable, and it's an interesting tactic that we've seen, because we have seen USD direct sales on some of these wearables. We've seen that you had the option of buying the wearable either in UPIX or in USD. If you're buying in USD, you're not getting a UPIX reward. You're just spending a equivalent amount of USD. This marks, again, a little bit of a deviation of how those sales that happened in the past. And it'll be interesting to see whether the Upland continues with this pathway. If you're buying UPIX as well as a asset or a wearable when you do these sales. Again, the jury's mixed on this, whether that's whether people are looking for that as being the option, if they prefer to have a UPIX only option to buy some of these wearables in the future. And I think ultimately Upland may be mixing this up. This may be something that we see both versions of in the near future. But this sale, of course, did sell out, so there's a hard to make an argument that people weren't interested in participating in the sale as it was available to them. Did have that sale sell out, and was interested to see that happen. I do have to go circle back here, obviously, to look at look at one thing that really defines what we're looking at, as we do continue in this week. And I do want, and that is that idea of continuing to have this collection, build the collection, have to purchase a variety of a variety of items in a collection in order to get some type of reward. Upland's talked about having this with legits in the past. They've done a little bit of it where if you fill a collection in legits, you get some type of bonus, a bonus on fan score with NFLPA legits. You're seeing that now with Block Explorers, specifically that was part of the Golden City expansion, or part of the hidden gems of San Francisco. We saw that if you could get all 3 Block Explorers, you held them to the point of the snapshot, and then you got a reward. That as of right now, that snapshot for the 3 Block Explorers, has not been set yet, so we're waiting to hear that. But there is a period of snapshot that we definitely can touch. And here, this is on Black Friday Block Explorer sale. On the Black Friday Block Explorer sale, we had obviously discounted Block Explorer sale. The discount is that for the price in USD, these were much rarer than we usually get for this price in USD. $25 USD gets you 25,000 UPIX, and a Block Explorer that's limited to a total circulation of 50. That was the Ultra View Block Explorer. The Playport Prism Block Explorer, for $10, you get 10,000 UPIX and the Playport Prism Block Explorer with a circulation with a quantity of 100. The Mix Master Block Explorer for 5,000 UPIX, $5. Again, this is the lowest we've ever had these sales. You pay $5, you get 5,000 UPIX, you get a Block Explorer. 300 of these available. That's the lowest we've ever had in the past. And here's the lowest, the extreme. This is where the sale comes in. We did set that price lower than we ever had before. $2, you pay $2, you get 2,000 UPIX, you get a Block Explorer as well. This Block Explorer is only 500 of, so it is not like it is one of the most common Block Explorers in Upland, and you're getting it for only $2, and you're also getting the 2,000 UPIX to boot. Air Crisp Pro Block Explorer, these all sold out. It wasn't an incredibly long period of time. It was at a weird time to have that sale, so it was something that having this sale on Black Friday at 9 a.m. PT, a lot of people may have been otherwise occupied. We still had the sale sell pretty well, and did see that happen. And of course, the key thing that I keep mentioning on this idea of building out your collection, this idea of getting rewarded for filling a collection. Here it is, Wednesday, November 29th. That's tomorrow, 9 a.m. PT. You have to have all 4 of these if you want to be part of that snapshot. That snapshot's going to happen exactly one time. And since it's happening exactly one time, if you miss it, you miss it. The Trolley Triumph Block Explorers will be given out for free to anybody who have all 4 of those Block Explorers snapshot taking place tomorrow at 9 a.m. PT. Make sure you have all 4. You still have time to do it. You can buy them on the secondary. You can trade. You can swap. You can take what you own now for Block Explorers and get the last one of these that you're missing so that you can be part of that snapshot. Keep in mind the maximum number of right here it is of the Trolley Triumph Block Explorer is going to be 50. I don't know if all 50 are going to be claimed because you're limited to the total number of the rarest, and the rarest here is the Ultra View Block Explorer with 50 total available. And we'll see. We'll see how many Triumph Trolley Block Explorers end up getting claimed. We'll see how many of the people with the Ultra Views are able to get the other 3 of these Block Explorers to fill out the claim. And I'm looking forward to seeing this happen in the future here. Again, this is a potential way of adding value to Block Explorers. I would like to see a way for these collections to have long-term value instead of just a short-term one-time flash in the pan. You collect them over a short period of time. You see the price, the value of those Block Explorers rise up during that limited period of time. Then you see them crash down afterwards. It would be nice if we had a long-term value for these in these collections, but this is a great start. Being able to reward people for the chase, being able to reward people for being willing to buy things on the secondary market. And then, you do see that temporary market is going to wane, is obviously going to crash out after this, after the dissemination of the prize after the snapshot is taken. But again, it's a first iteration. We'll see how that works this time around, and we'll see how the Golden City reward Block Explorer works as well, because I know that people are working on that right now to move around assets to try to buy those last Block Explorers to get that set of 3. The other two portions, obviously, I did mention already the NFLPA bundles that were discounted in the USD side. That was a 30% discount. Definitely did see those sell better than they do at the regular price in USD. So there's a key note there that it seems like there's some price sensitivity there. It seems like there is a way to get people to want to buy more, and that way is obviously a lower price overall. So we did see a couple things. We did learn a couple things from that sale, and then of course. The last thing that was part of that is referral bonus. That referral bonus did end today. So if it's something you've been working on, unfortunately, that window did close at 9 a.m. PT this morning on the 28th of November. Again, this was an opportunity for you to double your referral match for each of your referrals that were done between the 23rd, that was Thanksgiving, and today, the 28th. I don't know how many people did get in and participate. I've heard anecdotally that a lot of people have referred all the people that they're ever going to refer, but it is a great opportunity, a great incentive, and a great limited promotion to get people to try a little harder to bring new people into the game of Upland. And I hope that's just what happened. Hopefully Upland has some numbers to share on that. I'd love to have that conversation, because some of these programs, it's nice to look back, say, what actually happened from this program. It would be nice to be able to look back and say, this worked, this didn't. What can we do to, use these situations, use these type of incentives better in the future? And so that we can move forward and continue on with these types of promotions as we move forward down the line here, down into the future of Upland and the growth of Upland here, moving down. Of course, as I did mention, we do have one last thing happening today, something that I did get in on, and fingers crossed and hoped to get lucky on. I was lucky enough to get one of the Race 11 mementos. We did have an exclusive sale today for the Stock Car Pro Series exclusive car sale. Again, the way this sale works is you do have to have a memento at the time of snapshot. You get into the snapshot, and then you have the opportunity to register. Once you've registered, you get put in that random queue, like we have all of these random queue sales. And the key thing is there are fewer of the passes available than there are people who qualify. There are few of the passes available, the car passes available, than there are Race 11 mementos. So Race 11 memento is your gated entry into that sale. It doesn't guarantee. It does get you into that queue. And 2 times unlucky for the Goldsmith. Second one of these sales that I was holding a memento for, so that I could get into the pass sale. And second time that I did not get lucky numbers. The last time I was in the 80s. This time I'm in the 80s again. Unfortunately, the case. So we did see that some other people, 36 of them to be exact, did get the opportunity to purchase these car passes, and these car passes obviously exchangeable for trainer cars, competition cars, and pro cars in the Stock Car Pro Series cars that will be a we're looking at a future of raceability, a future of gated racing on the Stock Car Pro Series. Upland's talked about this, hasn't talked about it for a while, but that there will be a gated Stock Car Pro Series race for these Stock Car Pro Series pro cars. Looking forward to that very much. And also, we see that these are emulating real world Stock Car Pro Series cars that are racing around the tracks in Brazil and actually cross border into Argentina as well. I know that they have some cross border races, but seeing that these cars are out there on the track, it's kind of exciting to see that real world aspect. The same sponsors, the same badging, the same design of that car coming in on the Pro Series cars, so that we can see those come into the real life of Upland look very similar to the versions or to what is out there in the real world. And it is exciting to see that. If we take a look at these cars up here, you see a trainer, you do see a competition car, and you see a Pro Series car. Over here, you can see where all the badging lines up, and how it does have that similarity to the real world race cars racing around the track again in Brazil and Argentina. So excited to see these continue to happen. Fingers crossed next time I'm luckier. This did complete today, 9 a.m. PT. If you did get one of those passes, the exchange hopefully be open here shortly, and you can find out what you won, what you have for cars, again, trainer, competition, or a Pro Series car. And then the one thing that I did want to circle back on, or the topic I led up front, a little bit about Block Explorers and where they sit now. So a couple things that happened during this Block Explorer sale. Upland obviously gave us a discount. They gave us a discount in that those Block Explorers sales, or the sold Block Explorers, were at a lower price than we've ever had for the quantities that were released. For the rarities that were released, lowest price we've ever had in the USD side. You're getting the same amount of upticks, of course, and then getting a Block Explorer as bonus. And then what do we see when these got to the secondary market? In many cases, we saw these prices lower than we've ever seen for Block Explorers, and I think that was because of that quick flip. Somebody buying that Block Explorer in USD, getting their upticks bonus, going in reselling that as quick as possible to get that bonus. And then, unfortunately, because Upland gave us lower prices, that meant that even though these were not the most common Block Explorers we've ever had, even though these weren't the worst looking Block Explorers we've ever had, they look okay. They look pretty good. And even though these weren't, otherwise something that had no value, they did have value. They had the enhanced value, which is still there right now. The enhanced value of being redeemable, potentially redeemable for a additional Block Explorer win, and a rare Block Explorer win. And we did see these prices end up being lower, or being on the market lower than we've seen them, seen other Block Explorers on the market in the past. And the key there, and the note there is, again, that's people taking their quick flips. The less things cost, the less they're going to be on the market. And the question is, does that bring down the overall does that bring the overall value of Block Explorers down when Upland selling these for less and less OPEX, or less and less US dollars in this case? And again, it does look on the short term like that's exactly what that does, bringing down the pricing of these Block Explorers that were sold, making the lowest cost Block Explorers a little lower, and then theoretically making that race to the bottom, even more competitive, or even lower, at an even lower point, or lower place. So taking a look, what something I've done here in the past, recently, that I've liked doing, is being able to take a look at the market. There's a couple different search tools that are available in the game of Upland right now, again, provided by third-party developers that do put things out there. Howard Beach, are presented by Howard Beach. ablend.me is one of the ones that are out there as well, that allow you to look at Block Explorers. But if we do want to go back and we do want to see Block Explorers, we're looking at, obviously, for this sale, we were looking at all of the these nice block explorers for our Black Friday 2023 collection. Well, I can come over here and I can go to my I can come over here to my Black Friday. If I just come on down, Black Friday 2023 collection, and I can go and I can search that. We can go do a search, and here they are. Look at that. All the Black Friday 2023 here listed at different Block Explorer shops throughout Upland. I go and I want to sort by lowest price. And obviously 525 lowest price in USD. Let's see what the lowest price is here in UpX. I can go and get the Mixmaster over here in Los Angeles. Looks like this was listed in Los Angeles here, 3,150 UpX. And here's the thing about the Mixmaster. The Mixmaster was not the most abundant. It was it was rare. There's only 300 of them. We have never had the market be for a 300 circulation, something that there was only 300 of for Block Explorers, sell at 3,150. We never had that be the benchmark on those. We've had a low benchmark on the UpX sales for a while, on the high circulation, on the Halloween common Block Explorers, the uncanny Block Explorers, that there's like 2,500 of each. We've seen those prices be relatively normal. We've normalized in the 2,000 to 3,000 UpX range. But here's something that there's only a maximum circulation of 300. Here's something that has utility, that is by collecting 4 Block Explorers, holding them during a snapshot period, you would get a 5th Block Explorer for free, and that 5th Block Explorer would be relatively rare. It would have less than 50 total circulation. And the be-all, end-all here is that based on people buying the UpX, paying the $5 for the UpX, getting 5,000 UpX, getting a free Block Explorer along with it, they turn around and try to sell that Block Explorer for 3,150 UpX as a bonus to the UpX they got, which great is a great quick flip if they can get it, is a great way to turn around and make value, but ultimately it's at a lower cost than we've ever seen on Block Explorers. Question obviously is, did they undersell the market? What are they taking the best flip they can get on that Block Explorer because the Block Explorers are never going to rebound? Those are all questions that we will not know for time, for a period of time. I'm not going to advocate that these are the things that people should scoop up. I'm not going to suggest that, the future of Block Explorers again is continuing to erode, but it definitely can be noted that the lower we sell Block Explorers, or the lower prices Block Explorers can be sold for, it does have an influence on the overall market, on the secondary. It does make those Block Explorers or does put those Block Explorers at a lower valuation on the overall market. And again, we have to watch out for the splash effect. Is there a degradation in the value? Is there a potential lowering of the bar for other Block Explorers on the market? Because these Block Explorers, like the Mixmaster, like the Air Crisp, were bought by people just to get that quick flip. They just want to buy that Block Explorer up front. They wanted to get the UpX. They wanted to get the quick flip, and they're racing to sell that. And then potentially, if they don't sell before the snapshot period tomorrow, maybe they still want to continue to sell that Block Explorer. Maybe they leave it up where it is. Maybe the market to buy them at 3,150 UpX is no longer there because the snapshot has elapsed, and that just sits there, and everything else that is a low cost Block Explorer has to compete against people who, again, bought the Block Explorer just for the flip. They didn't have any intention for holding a Block Explorer. They have no desire to do so. So they're just going to sell it for as much as they can get for it, which may be a declining value if people continue to flood the bottom side of that market. Is there a solution? I think that we will have to watch out and see if we have many more 2,000 UpX or the equivalent of 2,000 UpX, paying $2, getting 2,000 UpX, and getting a 500 circulation Block Explorer. Again, this Mixmaster at 3,150 UpX is not even the least rare of all the options. It was originally a bonus for buying 5,000 UpX at a cost of $5, and again on the market 3,150 UpX. We'll see what the future of Block Explorer look like. I do like to keep an eye on and keep taking a look back and forth at Block Explorers, where that market sits, where the secondary markets sit. But we did see an interesting thing with the sale. Obviously, there was a lot of movement on these. There was a lot of these that did get sold. They got sold at lower rates than I thought the market should have dictated. They did get sold at lower rates than Block Explorers of the same overall mint number, maximum mint have sold in the past. But they did sell pretty regularly, and a lot of them did sell because people were, again, working towards being one of the 50 people who are up to 50 people who are going to be able to claim that bonus Block Explorer. So maybe a little bit of a good and bad here with the way this sale happened, with the pricing on the sale, with the realities of Block Explorers on the secondary market for today. And then we'll continue to keep our eyes out on the market, continue to see what happens and evolves. And again, the one big thing that change the value of Block Explorers moving forward is going to be utility. And we've talked about the potential of Block Explorers having different utility as the idea of Block Explorers being what used to be the avatar of players around the board, used to be floating around on top of the map. In the future, likely not to be the case, as we've talked about, as Upwind's talked about, transportation that is going to be other than Block Explorers flowing over the map, that they've talked about future integrations or more integrations with Ready Player Me style avatars. Well, we'll see. Upland, if they have an idea of what's going to happen to the future of Block Explorers, love to have that conversation with them at some point when they're ready to discuss it, because I'd love to see this market for these assets that are a legacy asset, an asset that's existed for a while in Upland, an asset that is likely not going to have the same utility in the future as it's had in the past. How does it stick around? What does it have as a value? Is it just a collectible? Is it something else altogether? Is there a bonus that can be achieved by continuing to hold on to these assets? That'll be a conversation looking forward to down the line. But for tonight, what we are looking forward to is this coming Friday. This coming Friday is going to mark the end of the Ugliest Sweater contest, or at least it will be the day when they start sending out all of the messages for who needs to do what revisions. This coming Thursday the 30th is going to be the last day to submit. If you haven't yet submitted, make sure you do get your submissions in. Again, we did get this out on the November 9th. People have had a couple weeks to get these in. I know that all of these contests with UGC, some people are coming in new, some people have lots of experience, but it is something that can take time. Can take time to design. With the holidays, not everybody had the time. If you haven't yet submitted, you have put some of the work in, you got a few days to finish up. This coming Thursday the 30th at 9 a.m. PT, that is when the submissions close. If you submit and there's any issues, there's a resubmission period. That's going to be to December 7th. So if you get that message telling you have to resubmit, you have to make an alteration, go ahead and make sure you get that taken care of by the 7th, so that come the 8th, you may be one of those winners. What's up for grabs? There are going to be, each of the winners are going to receive 0.3 Spark and their Ugly Sweater wearable. This is the origin. This is the genesis. This is the first iteration of UGC wearables, with Upland actually making them and bringing it into the game of Upland. Again, Upland iterates. Upland takes what they've done well and does it better into the next version. And this is the first chance for Upland to work with those designs, take those designs, make those wearables, and put them into the game of Upland from UGC content, meaning they're getting ready to do this on a larger scale. Fingers crossed. Does that mean that UGC wearables are coming very shortly? Does that mean that meta venture for UGC wearable manufacturing might be coming in the next several months, next several weeks? We don't know, but we do know that this is your opportunity to get involved in UGC wearables right now. 3 additional prizes for the top 3 as determined by Upland. Here they are: 1730C West Fullerton Ave in Chicago, 2574 North Clybourne Street in Chicago, and 1730B West Fullerton Ave in Chicago. 3 additional prizes for first, second, and third for the 3 best designs. Again, decided by the team of Upland. It's great. It's an additional incentive to not only be one of the top 10. Again, top 10, they get 0.3 spark. Each of them, they do get an ugly sweater wearable. But you want to be one of the top 3 if you're the best of the best. There's an additional prize there for you. So put some quality in there. Don't just slap it up. You got a couple days to put it in if you haven't got it in there yet. Of course, if you need any additional help, if you haven't got it in, I will tell you the first and foremost thing is the UGC channel in Discord. Jason's been great over there. Jason Festa. Questions come out. He gets answers. He gets resources over to people. He's been very active over this contest. He's been very active very recently to get people the things they needed with their submissions. If they had issues, if they had submissions not coming back in time, trying to get people that information and expedite things as they got along here. But of course, the Upland Design Gift Book's available. There is a validation tool that you can use, and there is the Ugliest sweater showdown example files. They're all there. There is plenty of details here. Again, at this point, you've probably already designed it. This is just your reminder. Get your design in before Thursday at 9 a.m. PT so that you can be part of this contest with the idea that if you made a little mistake, you still have about a week until the 7th to get the resubmission. So fingers crossed, we see a lot more entries than there are right now. Fingers crossed that this is the start of things for a number of UGC designers on the UGC wearable side of the things. And looking forward to it very much so. And of course, one of the things, since we're talking about submission periods, we're talking about getting in and submitting to be a part of the future of Upland. And we're talking about the idea of iterations as well. The genesis, the first things are happening. Key thing, already been announced. It's been announced a long time in the coming, and we've been moving along with it. People have been designing. The clock is ticking down. The time is getting short. If you've been working on it, you have got 2 weeks left to submit, or just over, and that is right here. The mini game competition opportunity to get 1 million Upics if you can get it in by the 14th. Opportunity to be a part of the future of Upland if you can't get by the 14th, because this opportunity to get these mini games submitted, to get these integrated in the game of Upland, is going to continue to exist. But to get them in by the 14th could get you 1 million Upics, 500,000 Upics for submitting it, 500,000 Upics for continuing to keep things running. And of course, if you can get in by the 14th deadline, by the December 14th deadline, if you can get everything set up that you need to, again, we're getting it close now. There's 1 million Upics bonus in there for you for doing that, just that. And of course, if you do your monetization, which is something Upland wants you to focus on as part of this development, if you do your monetization right, it's gonna be rewarding for you long term to begin with. That 1 million Upics may be just enough to help you bankroll whatever you're doing in the Upland economy. If you're hiring an artist, if you are getting somebody to help you along the way, just enough of a reward for you to maybe be able to pay off some of that help and support that you got along the way. Definitely get in review. If you haven't started the design now, I will tell you that there is a likelihood, a very, very strong likelihood, very strong possibility that you may not be able to get things in by the 14th. But if you're still cruising towards the date, again, Thursday, December 14th, 9 a.m. PT is going to be the end of the submission period. If you haven't got in yet, again, definitely do work towards it. And the key thing is going to be something that you can go into the mini game challenge channel right here, mini game challenge Discord channel in Upland Discord to get a better idea, to submit questions, to get support, to interact with the team, because like I mentioned, team members are helping out with this along the way, just like on the UGC side. And to circle back, as we do get ready to end the show here on this Tuesday, the 28th of November, I do want to thank Jason Festa for going to be part of the show this coming Friday. I think that's fingers crossed that it's official. This here in the Upland Cafe. We have a few really important things to go over. There's been people in the UGC side of things that had a lot of questions over the last several months that they've been working on getting answers for. And ultimately, for Jason's part, for the UGC team's part, they've been putting a lot of work in. They put a lot of work in to improve the process. There's been a lot of delays along the way. There's been a lot of learning curves along the way. There's been a lot of people who've put a lot of effort in on the UGC side, and they want to see what the future of Upland UGC looks like. That's what we're looking at, having an interview with Jason on. He's got a few things that he wants to discuss. I think he's still working on the details of what he can discuss and what he can't discuss this coming Friday. But we definitely want to stick to what does not reveal or give away the future of Upland. But we do want to be able to look at the future in a broad enough way so people know what the opportunities are coming in on the UGC side. So people who've been putting the effort in on the UGC side know what they can expect for new interactions. And again, just updates on the current state of things, what's happened, which a lot has happened the last week. We'll get into on Friday on the UGC side, is trying to clear out backlogs and to expedite opportunities for people to submit or resubmit designs to get them approved more quickly, to have them not sit there and wait for approval for weeks and weeks at a time. So looking forward to that interview on Friday. Hope to see you all here, 7 p.m. PT, right here in the Layer 1 Cafe in San Francisco. Will be simulcast on YouTube, and of course, it will be available as a recording for those who can't make it. If you can make it and you want to be part of that conversation, we'd love to have you do so. If you have questions that you would like to submit, if you have things that you'd love Jason on the UGC side of Upland to be able to discuss or be able to answer questions on, love to have those questions in advance so that we can obviously get those to Jason. Send those to me in the Game of Upland to the Goldsmith. Send those to me in Discord to the Goldsmith there as well. Love to know what you want answered, what questions you have, and love to take the opportunity to get those to Jason and see what those answers end up being, and have you give you the chance anyways, or have the chance for you to see those answers this coming Friday, 7 p.m. PT. For tonight, thank you so much for joining in. Thanks for being here in the Upland Cafe. If you're listening recorded, obviously, always feel free to send me a DM with any questions you have to the Goldsmith in the Game of Upland, the Goldsmith in Discord. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing you Monday through Friday in the Upland Cafe, 7 p.m. PT, and right here in the Upland Cafe on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. PT. And this coming Friday as well, 7 p.m. PT, right here, same place, same time, different day. Thank you. Again, looking forward to the interview this coming Friday, and hope to see you all there.